What is going on in terms of helping these children develop the way they want to?
Why not tell me if not?
Well, that is one way to look at it.
Tell me why
Now, where do we start?
I no go see. Tell me why I go get it, nose I no go smell. Tell me why I go get it, air I no go hear. Tell me why I go get it, mouth I no go talk.
That's for another day anyway. Let's get back to what I was talking about before. We being the children of hope. Why we have identified ourselves as children of hope is because we have seen scenarios where Nigeria was excellent. Nigeria was fantastic. Nigeria was great. You really want to be a Nigerian at some point. The currency was good to spend. You know, I had uncles, cousins, all living in all parts of the world. I remember we used to send them money. Unlike now, where they send us money. Or we send money home. Western Union is the one saving majority of the Nigerians, if we want to call a spade a spade. True. Now, in that regard, we've come up with a solution. Look, okay, we've identified a generation that, hey, this could be a generation of hope, because they never saw Nigeria. They saw Nigeria going from grace to grass. Majority of us, majority of my friends who grew up in that era, they know themselves. They can identify with me on so many levels. But the truth of one particular issue is, we knew Nigeria was good at some point. We knew it was exciting. We knew it was a fantastic place to be. For crying out loud, when armed robbers come to your house those days in Nigeria, they come to steal your pot of soup or your video recorder. But now they come with grenades and bombs. They come with grenades, they bomb your house just because they want to steal probably $1,000. Desperation. But not just desperation, failed systems. These failed systems is collective. It's not just us failing or the government failing. It's a collective effort. We can agree or disagree, but the majority of Nigerians are failing Nigeria simply because we are ignorant about certain things. Tweet basically anything that enters my head in relation to how pissed off I am about Nigeria. You need to get that fact clear. I might not necessarily be in the right frame of mind when I'm tweeting certain things, but I can assure you 100% that I am 100% conscious of what I'm doing. Where do we start? We can start from here. Look at this. Religion and then politics. We have to understand that these two things are the same. Honestly. No, you have to just get it right. These two things, they are the same. Anyhow you look at it. The only difference is that, okay, maybe religion has a level of spirituality attached to it, but I can tell you, majority of the politicians out here in Nigeria are spiritual. So they understand this, but this doesn't understand this. When the two should actually understand each other. When I mean these two entities, I'm talking about us not identifying these two things and really bringing them as the same. When you see a politician, when you see a pastor, what do you see these days? What is the common factor between a politician and a pastor in Nigeria? Well, I'll let you tell me the answer. The average okay, let's rephrase it. If you see an honest politician and you see an honest pastor, what is the common factor between those two? They are both broke. That's the truth. An honest pastor and an honest politician are both skint. They are broke. But when you see a rich pastor, you see a rich politician, I'll rephrase it again. Or when you see a flamboyant pastor or flamboyant politician, what is the common factor? They are both rich, I suppose. Now, think about it properly. Nigeria is made out of wealth. Nigerians flow through wealth. The rivers in Nigeria, everything about Nigeria is centered around wealth. There's no reason why these two entities to be different. There isn't, but we have to understand them We have to recognize the difference, and then we have to act accordingly based on which one it is we want to be associated with and do it properly. If we want to go the spiritual route, the religious route, then we have to make these pastors and all these other people out there pay the right taxes. If we want to go the political route, then we have to make sure the leaders that we've decided to call our leaders, the people that we've decided to say we want this person to lead us, we have to make sure that this person is an intelligent individual.
As far as Islam, what the media is saying, forget about it. I'll give you ruling of Islam. Whether what the media says right or wrong. Quran says in Surah Maida, chapter number 5, verse number 32, if anyone kills any other human being, unless it be for murder or for spreading corruption in the land, it is as though he has killed the whole of humanity. Any person kills any other human being, whether Muslim or non-Muslim, unless it be for murder or for spreading corruption in the land, it is as though he has killed the whole of humanity. And if any human being saves other human being, it is as though he has saved the whole nation.
So there are two things involved. One, the right frame of mind might be like, I am really pissed off, I had a very, very bad day. And then the other one might be, you know what, I just had enough. Maybe I just saw one breaking news, like the other breaking news I saw today from Nigeria, that Boko Haram killed some students in Yobe. There was no really reason why they would go and do that. Do you know how annoying that is? You know, people don't seem to understand. My own problem here is not even the fact that the Boko Haram went and did it. It's the fact that they went to a secondary school to go and do it. You know, that just goes to show exactly the level of incompetence that our government are riding on. You know, if they had gone to maybe like they normally do, villages and all this stuff that you say, oh, okay, lack of security. But where did they get the time to enter a secondary school that in secondary school police could not intercept them while they were going out about and doing all those things? You know, those are the factors that we'll be talking about.
Boko Haram members have stormed the federal government college in Buniyadi in Yobe State in northeast Nigeria, killing 29 pupils, many of whom died in flames as the school was burned to the ground. The Yobe State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Sanusi Rufai, says some of the students' bodies were burned to ashes. Our correspondent in Yobe State, citing eyewitness accounts, says that the set members attacked the students in their hostels at night. The federal government college Buniyadi is a co-ed institution located some 55 kilometers south of Damaturu, the state capital. Buniyadi is also the capital of Gudba local government area. Today's attack brings to 4 on schools in Yobe since the commencement of the insurgency, as GSS Damaturu, Mamudo, and College of Agriculture were attacked last year. The Yobe State Governor, Ibrahim Gedam, is currently on his way to the school for an on-the-spot assessment of the situation.
It was unfortunate that up to the 4-hour period or 5 hours of killings and massacre, there were not any security men around to contain the situation. So I think they should change in their strategy, and I will use this opportunity to call on the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, or the Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Defense Staff, whoever is concerned, to send a matter of urgency, enough troops to Yobe, so that they contain this kind of incidences. I was made to understand clearly that they don't have enough number of troops. They will not be able to cover each and every school in Yobe. It is unfortunate that our children, grandchildren are dying of lack of care or whatever from this, maybe federal government. I don't know what is happening.
Right, so the question remains again as where do we start really? But for the past 1 week, it's been horrible stories coming out of Nigeria with regards to mass killings of innocent children. The sad thing about this particular situation is like it's happened
almost identical before, about a year ago, in the same place, Yobe. About a year ago, I made a video where I spoke about the Boko Haram killings of innocent children. Now, these innocent children were killed in the schools while they were sleeping. This was about a year ago, and I categorically mentioned there that the Nigerian state and the Nigerian government must be held responsible for the lives of just children because of the lack of security. At that particular time, some of the witnesses said for about 2-3 hours while this was happening, no form of security service was present or came to the aid of these children while they were killed. This was about a year ago in Yobe. Okay, so we fast forward that. About 4 or 5 days ago, the president of Nigeria had a conference, or rather a media chat with the nation, where he spoke about Boko Haram and said that well, it could be worse, more or less saying we're not praying hard enough, and in that regard he's more or less undermining the fact that there's anything like accountability when it comes to these sort of things. He's putting everything more or less on a celestial level, just saying this has been ordained by God, I suppose. That's what he's trying to say in retrospect. Now, the main issue here is that there was a massacre by Boko Haram in Borno State about 4 or 5 days ago, where about 250 people were killed. Now, 250 people slaughtered in one day. I mean, that would take a lot of planning and a lot of time for that to be organized properly and for that to be executed. So the fact that the Nigerian army, the Nigerian government, the whole Nigerian security forces did not have a clue that this kind of massacre was going to happen inevitably spells gross incompetence. I mean, I'm not saying if they had gone and dropped a bomb somewhere, it would have been a different scenario. I mean, you can't really predict that. But to go somewhere and start killing people randomly, I mean, for you to go to a village and kill 250 people in one go, that's not going to take. That will take at least 2 hours for that kind of stuff to happen. And within those 2 hours, that's enough time for a battalion. If this is an organized country, that is enough time for a battalion to engage these people and probably capture the majority of them, if not all of them. Honestly, that is enough. It's more than enough time. I mean, you're looking at response time of maybe max 30 minutes should be in place all around the country, especially now. But anyway, that's not the main thing. The main thing now is that, fast forward, 250 people killed about 5-6 days ago, and then 2 days later, immediately after the president had come out and said more or less Boko Haram is under control and Nigeria, we get over it. That's what he said. Another attack at the federal government school in Yobe, where roughly, from what we're hearing, about 50 male students were killed, and the possibilities of some female students being abducted is rearing its head now. I mean, the data filtering through is not even accurate to show you how remotely incompetent these people can be sometimes.
I despise your killing and raping